Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, fredmccoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great evening.
It's going to be a short video. We've covered a lot of these things before, but as of today, 2024, people are still printing this out, and we're going to continue to comment on it, or at least bring attention to it. You know, it's funny that over the years, from 1863, 1865, especially since 1878, people have talked about old Randall McCoy and his family like dogs. And it's gone and gone. Nobody's ever stood up, nobody said nothing, because nobody wanted to argue. Like we say, you can't bring up the Hatfield-McCoy feud with two people without them having different views on something. Sheila and I try not to go with the views. I know sometimes it's hard not to do, but we try to go with evidence. And I'll read you the latest of what's been wrote, and then I'll explain something to you.
Okay.
On January 8th, 1888, while hunting, both Uncle Jim Vance, not crazy Jim Vance, but Uncle. Remember, his name was Old Jim Vance, Uncle Jim Vance, Bad Jim Vance. And then after the 1882, August 1882 killing of the three McCoy boys at the pawpaw trees, Jim Vance's name became Crazy. That's when Jim Vance went over to each one of the boys. And Sheila's back there shaking her head now. Sheila and I got this firsthand from the great-grandson of Jim Vance, who didn't care to tell the truth on either side, just like we do. And after that day, after Jim Vance shot each one of them in the head, they're already dead. He symbolically just put another bullet and looked back at the guys and says, if every one of you ever says I was here, I'll kill you, and I'll hunt your families down, and I'll kill them.
Yep. That's what we were told.
And after that, they said he was crazy. Jim's crazy. And that's where he got his name. Let's go on, though. Anyway, they're calling him Uncle here.
Okay.
Too bad nobody went back to bury Uncle Jim Vance after he was killed. You cared enough about him to do that. But Uncle Jim Vance and Cap Hatfield were ambushed by a heavily armed Kentucky posse near Vance's property, Logan County home at Thacker, West Virginia, now Mingo County. Bad Frank was leading the gang in the skirmish that followed. Vance was wounded, though Cap escaped the volatile scene on foot at Vance's request. Remember what the movie said that Jim Vance told him, go on, save yourself, boy, no need both of us dying. Sheila and I wasn't there. But that actually sounds like something we think Jim Vance would probably done. Now, whether he done it or not, it's two different stories, because if you listen to his wife, her story to the newspaper, she says she lost all respect for Cap that day. She didn't know he was such a coward until that day. And she had some choice things to say about Cap. She said if it was her, she would have died right there with her friend.
Exactly.
Instead of running off like he did. Now, these people here, of course, they like the Hatfield producer part of the miniseries, and he says that Vance told him, "Run, boy," knowing the situation was dire. Vance was eventually surrounded and killed in cold blood and at close range to the head by a six-shooter in the hand of Frank Phillips. Guys, we're not going to beat a dead horse on this one. If you'll go back through the videos there, just 6 or 8 videos back, you'll see some videos on Jim Vance and on Frank Phillips and on Sam McCoy. Squirrel hunting Sam McCoy. Sam McCoy's book's back there. Sam McCoy and T.C. Crawford are the only two people out there that's ever written books that were living during the time of the feud, or involved in the feud, or had first-hand knowledge of the feud.
Yeah.
Now, this story was wrote in 2024. just a couple weeks ago. We're to take what's wrote here over what was wrote by Sam McCoy in his book back there. Now, if you'll go over Sam McCoy's video that Sheila and I did, you'll see Sam McCoy was a hell of a man. Sam McCoy told him when they was questioning the lady at the well, which was probably Jim Vance's daughter-in-law, because his wife was up there with him.
She's the one that warned him when
Yeah.
she come down through there, because she asked him, boys, where you headed and where you going, where you been and where you going, or something.
Yeah, letting Jim know they were coming. Now, this story here says, Uncle Jim and Cap were out hunting. My Lord, it's 7 days after they just burnt down a man's house, killed 2 more of his kids, and beat his wife, but hey, let's go get us a buck. Let's go squirrel hunting. Let's go have a good day out hunting, Cap. Yeah, let's do that, Uncle Jim. Yeah.
Randall and his family were only sleeping.
They were out hiding in the woods. Jim and Cap were hiding in the woods when the posse came up on them. Now, Sam McCoy wouldn't let them abuse the woman. He said, you don't have to tell them where nobody's at. Nobody's going to hurt you.
Right.
And so forth. They were getting ready to leave there when they spotted a woman coming out of the holler. Hey, boys, where you going?
Where you headed? Where you been and where you going?
Real loud. So Cap and Jim could hear her. And then one of the men saw Cap and Jim up there in the woods. Now they're up hunting. What, they must have had a long hunting trip if his wife has to bring breakfast to them up there on the side of the hill. No, they were hiding out, guys. So you all can believe this stuff if you want, as it's written, and everything's in favor. Why would we believe Sam McCoy on some stuff he says where he took up for the woman? He was there to keep the peace. He wasn't going to let nobody be mistreated. Sam McCoy, not Jim McCoy, as some of the Hatfields mistakenly or intentionally want people to believe. Right. Let's get the history right. Sam McCoy wouldn't let nobody be hurt, but yet Sam McCoy was there when they got in the shootout with Jim Vance and Cap. Sam McCoy writes that Jim Vance opened up fire on them. Opened up fire, hollered and said, okay, boys, surround them, everybody move in, and all this and that, like he had a whole group of men there trying to scare the Kentucky posse off. They didn't scare. Jim started shooting. They shot back. They said Cap Hatfield shot from, I don't know, I don't want to guess at the range again now, but it's on the
Cap Hatfield shot? Or?
Frank Phillips.
Frank Phillips?
Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Frank Phillips shot with his rifle. We know that Bud McCoy had shot and wounded him in the hip or the leg. We know that Jim McCoy had shot him. They say that Lark McCoy also shot, but they said when he raised up over the log that they could see the hair and his hat fly back, and that Frank Phillips had got him with his Winchester rifle right in top of the head, took the top of his head off and hit him in the left eye, I believe it was, and took his head with the 30-30 rifle. I've seen people shot with 30-30 rifles, and it's not pretty.
Gross.
In fact, Hatfield detective partner of mine, we worked he was actually driving the ambulance at the time, and the guy killed 4 people back home in Pike County. September the 5th, 1980.
Oh.
September the 5th, 1980 in Pike County. Amanda Smith was a little 18-month-old girl. He shot her. He shot his girlfriend Rebecca. He shot her mother, Betty Maynard, I think it was, and shot Betty's mother. And then he shot the little baby Amanda, 18-month-old, and with the 30. All 4 of them with the 30-30 rifle.
Oh.
Killed all 4.
That's horrible.
And he died finally in prison, but so I know what a 30-30 rifle does to somebody, and it's not pretty. And when he shot Jim Vance, when they got up there, they said you could stuck something,
an egg
through his eye and out the back of his head where it made such a hole. And so Squirrel Hunting Sam says this in his book. He wrote a book, and he says this. He didn't lie about nothing else. Why would he have lied? How Jim Vance got killed, or because the story has always been, from a kid on up, the story's always been, oh, Frank Phillips went up and shot him right in the head. Frank Phillips took his brains out and shined his boots with them, and nah, that's stories, guys. Anyway, it's Fred and Sheila McCoy. I thought I was holding it on you.
Lord, I'm sorry.
Oh, God. I do that all the time. I'm sitting there holding it.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
She's thinking right now, oh, he's so special.
No. I said sweet.
It won't be long, you'll be calling me Cotton Top.
No, never.
Go ahead.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.